Hi everyone, and welcome to the Back 9. In today's episode, I'm going to be reviewing the Ping I500 irons. I'd like to start out by saying I have always liked Ping equipment. For 30 plus years, they have always made quality equipment, and they've always been a leader when it comes to forgiveness in their drivers and their irons. Recently, I think Ping has fallen a little bit behind the competition distance-wise. And I think in today's age, people are looking for forgiveness plus more distance. I think Ping's starting to address this now in their new i710 irons and the i500s. I got my demo set 10 days before we were ordered to shelter at home. Gotham was generous enough to let me keep my demo set through the shelter at home policy until the courses got reopened. Once the courses in my area opened, I got in several good rounds with these irons and a couple sessions on GC Quad with them. And I did another interesting thing with this review, which I'm going to show you in a little while. One of the days I was going out to test these irons, an acquaintance of mine, Jeff, who's in his early 40s, a 6 handicap, and swings well over 100 miles an hour, wanted to go play with me. I told him I wasn't playing a traditional round, that I would be demoing the Ping I500 irons. He got really excited to try them. So I said, you know what, this will be great. Come with me and we'll both test them and see how they not only impact my game, but how they perform for you as well. These are a power player's iron. Think of Mizuno MP20-HMBs, TaylorMade P790s, Cobra Forged Tec, and so on. These irons do have a player's profile. They have a thin top line, little to no offset, and they have a Ping player's profile sole. I have a picture of my set that I can show you. They're not uber wide and chunky, but they're a little wider than what you would think of as a traditional muscle back iron, or even some of the other clubs in this category. Now, like many of the other irons in this category, the i500s are somewhat strong lofted. The 7 iron is 30 degrees, and I'm going to show you the lofts. They get a little bit more traditional in the pitch and the gap wedge, but like most of these irons in those middle irons, they are strong lofted. Now, I currently play the new TaylorMade P790s. I was playing the original P790s for a long time, but when I tried the new P790s, they felt a lot better. The original ones didn't feel great. That's the only main difference I could tell, but it made me feel a little bit better about hitting them, so I got the new ones. So I was kind of interested to see how my P790 stacked up to these Ping i500 irons. The i500s are the last irons in the player's power profile line of irons that I had to try this year. I've already tried the others and reviewed them. These irons have a forged miraging steel face. They are a hollow body design. They don't feel like a forged iron. They don't feel like a cast iron. Somewhere in the middle. They do make a loud crack at impact. And I think one thing Ping could have done, which most of their competition has done, has filled them with some type of foam or microspheres or whatever you want to call it. But all the other irons in this category that I've tried that are foam filled feel better. So I want to talk to you about the results I got from the i500s, both on the course and on GC Quad. And I want to discuss how Jeff did with them, that 6 handicapper who swings harder than 100 miles an hour. Some interesting numbers. The reason why I really wanted Jeff to try them is in many of my reviews where you hear me talk about lower spinning equipment, whether it be an iron or a driver, I don't get good results out of them because I don't have a fast swing speed. So I really want to discuss how these Ping i500s perform for me, both on the course and in the hitting bay, but all on GC Quad. So I was able to accumulate a lot of averages. And I want to talk to you about how they perform for Jeff. the 6 handicapper who joined me one day when I was testing. So here are my stats. These are an average of on course and off course. My launched average at 17.3. That's a little low for me. I normally like to see my launch between 19 and 23. My spin was 45.90. For a 7-iron, that's still a little low, but it's not as low as some other irons in this category that I've tested. My peak height was 29. Again, a little low. My average carry was 156 yards. Now, several times when I hit these, I hit my new P790s back to back with them. And my P790s are very predictable with a 7-iron. I average around 160 to 165 yards with them. So the i500s were somewhat shorter. Now, let me tell you how these performed for Jeff, 6 handicapper, early 40s, who swings well over 100 miles an hour. I put him on GC Quad, and he was playing Pro V1s. Jeff's average launch was 19.1 compared to my 17.3. His average spin was 5,051, up from my 45.90. His peak height was 39. Mine was 29. And his average carry was 186 yards. So as you can see, he's a totally different golfer than me. But you can also see how these irons really benefited him. He told me that with the current set he was playing, these were 10 yards longer, felt better, and were definitely more forgiving. So with his swing speed and the lower spin of the club, he was getting some amazing distance numbers. I like the Ping I500s. They're forgiving, like most Ping irons, especially for a club in this category. I found them forgiving on distance. I knew when I missed the ball, but I was surprised at the result of how far they carried. And you could hit the ball pretty much anywhere on the face, and dispersion-wise, you wouldn't be punished too much. Now, I did struggle with launch and carry. Could I play these irons? I don't think so. First of all, I'm intimidated looking at them at address. Second of all, I need a little bit more help with distance, launch, and carry than these have to offer. And again, these are a small head. They are a player's profile head. And at this point in my life, I'm not comfortable playing with those type of irons. I really think these irons, like some of the others in this category, are aimed at the better player and the stronger player who can take advantage of the stronger lofts and lower spin to really get some amazing distance numbers. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you'll know the next time I have a new episode up. Please, as always, feel free to leave comments below. I enjoyed reading them and getting back to you on them. I hope this video finds everybody well and staying safe the best you can. These are weird times we're living in. I find it very strange playing golf right now. It feels like it went from a social sport where you're always talking to your friends and BSing, and that's like 50% of the fun of the game, till it almost feels like you're playing by yourself. It's a little weird, but you know what? It's better than not playing. As more and more of us are able to get out on the course and play, now we can start focusing again on hitting them straight. Thank you very much for watching.